Oh, yes. Welcome back, everyone. Tonight I have a review for War for Cybertron Siege Deluxe Class Ironhide. Ironhide is number 21 in the series. And this figure is very much a return to form for the character in both his vehicle and robot mode aesthetics. So, like always, we're going to take a look at the character's box, his instruction sheet, and then Ironhide himself, both in vehicle and robot modes, do a quick comparison with an older Ironhide, and then give some final thoughts. Alright, so this is Ironhide's box. Got typical window, logos everywhere, Ironhide's name right there, War for Cybertron Siege 21. On the side is his artwork. It's got Ironhide wielding his big old rocket launcher. You got some poor sap getting blown away in the background there. And though you can't see it right now, if you shine a black light to this, it reveals some symbols and things, but most importantly, some Cybertronics, which is, Cybertronian font, that says the word trithyllium, which is what Ironhide is supposedly made of. It's supposed to be a very tough metal. That's a secret code that you can input at the Transformers website to unlock exclusive content. Here we got Ironhide in his 2 modes. Changes in 14 steps. Got some cross cells with Battle Masters here. And then just regular Siege artwork on this side. Alright, here are Ironhide's instructions. Nice little booklet. Shows off his transformation to vehicle mode. Here it shows his weapon, which is the W35LR Doom Blast Forge Launcher. And they call it a Forge Launcher because the rocket launcher turns into a hammer. Kind of like the Forge of Solus Prime, right? Some more cross cells, interactivity, all that stuff. Showing off his weapon again in both of its configurations. Alright, and here's Ironhide's vehicle mode. It's the Cybertronian equivalent of a red van. So, a little more armored looking, more alien looking. It's got his launcher up here, which you can always choose to detach if you want to. It's got some nice detailing along the sides here. Wheels are cast in a gray color, just kind of interesting. The front's really nice, got this big bumper section. Clear windshield, though you can unfortunately very clearly see his head through the glass there. Got some kind of serial code or something on there. You got what are pretty obviously his feet sticking off the back. Though they do work pretty well. The detailing that they've molded here makes it look like this is some kind of booster setup to make him go faster. And there's nothing fancy about this. It's just a little van type vehicle. I do like it for the most part. My one real qualm with this mode is this section right here where the illusion kind of falls away and you just have his arms kind of hanging out on top there. Nothing covering them up, kind of maintaining this nice flat profile. It's just all out there for everyone to see. So that's a shame. He's got a good number of 5mm ports in this mode. He's got 4 on top. He's got 1 on the bottom of each foot here. And even these 4 circles right here are 5mm ports. So you can go nuts. You can attach all sorts of things to this guy. Make him very heavily armored. So if you have a lot of accessories, you can get really creative and turn this into some kind of armored convoy. Alright, we're going to transform Ironhide into his robot mode. And this is where we're going to get our first look at the real problem with this toy. First step is you want to fold back these panels here. Which doesn't seem to be an issue, except... oh, what's this? So the hinges, the outer parts of the hinges here, are very loose. They're a little too far wide open to where these pieces don't sit very tightly in there. And just by really swinging around, you can see they kind of just wiggle out there. And Same issue on this side, just as prone to pop off. Which is very frustrating because it's something that could have easily been avoided. And based on various reports I've seen and some reviews that I've watched already, this seems to be a common, if not universal, issue for this toy. It just seems to be an inherent design flaw, which is really a shame because it ruins an otherwise pretty darn good toy. But anyway, moving on. We can talk more about that later. All right, so you got those folded out, then you want to kind of open these panels all the way up here. Make sure these top panels aren't in the way. Okay, so you got that. All right, then you want to unplug his grill section from the front, pull that all the way down. Now, one thing I'd recommend doing to prevent clearance issues is rotate this leg just kind of outward, because you're gonna swing this whole section until it kind of clicks into place like that. Go ahead and fix this. I'm gonna close this, fold this panel down. Do the same thing over here. Try not to pop the panels off, you can help it. All right, so you got that. Then flip the windshield down. Bring these arms down like so. I'm gonna push the grill section back into place so it clicks. Rotate Ironhide's head out and push that assembly down until that clicks into place. A nice clicking going on. And now the windshield, you don't want to just swing it back the way it was. It's on a double hinge here. So you're kind of bending it at the hinge, and you want to get it to where this groove right here lines up with this slot on his chest. Just kind of carefully push that in there. Don't force it because there is paint on his chest. You don't want to scrape it off. But that gives him kind of his slanted, portly looking chest that Ironhide is known for having in his G1 form. All right, and pretty simple transformation, and we've got him in his robot mode. And this looks really spot on to G1 Ironhide. For a toy that uses an alien vehicle mode, Vice, you know, real life was like Nissan, Cherry, something or other. This has got to be the most accurate robot mode for Ironhide we've ever received, outside of perhaps his Masterpiece toy. And honestly, I'd argue this one looks closer to his animation model than that does. His weapon, by default, is wielded in his hand like this. Note that the stock kind of goes way back, so he can't hold it straight, kind of has to hold it at an inward angle, but doesn't look too bad. Looks good on him. He has this big beefy robot wielding a rocket launcher, so that's always nice. Or you can transform the weapon by folding this down until it pops into place like this and having him hold it like so. Give Ironhide a very big warhammer, which is really also fitting for him. So either way, it looks good. Personally, I kind of prefer the hammer just because it doesn't get in the way of his arm movement as much. Ironhide, like all of the other non-weaponizer deluxes in this line, has a pretty standard grouping of 5mm ports. He's got one on each shoulder, one on each forearm, one on each side of his leg, on these panels here, one on the bottom of each foot, and then one right in the middle of his back here. Of course, he's got some extra ones like here, but these are all designed to allow him to gear up with the weaponizers. So he does that just as well as any other. Now, while I have him facing away from you, show you my biggest gripe with this guy's robot mode is just the ridiculous amount of hollowness that he has. Right in the middle of his back is this really deep hollow section that really does not need to be there, but it is. And it looks really bad. Honestly, when you consider like how much space there actually is between like here and inside his chest, he's pretty much empty. Just a thin layer of plastic makes up his entire torso, really. So doesn't look so great from the back. Also, the backs of his forearms are completely empty. And now I can kind of see why this is open, because the wheels peg in here and it does kind of give you access to that, I guess. But this just doesn't make sense to me. I don't see any reason this couldn't have been much more filled in. I mean, it has nothing to do with plugging his fists into the forearms because there's already a space for that. Why this is all so very hollow, I don't know, other than cost cutting, but it's very painfully obvious. He is one of the worst looking toys in this line from the back. Also, these are completely hollow too. It goes way deep in there. So yeah, just a lot of what seems to be cost cutting measures. I mean, even bottoms of his feet did not need to be hollowed out like that. So that is unfortunate. This is definitely a toy that looks a lot better from the front than he does the back. But boy, he does look good from the front, right? Quick comparison, this is the most recent release of Ironhide before the new Siege toy. This is Combiner Wars Ironhide for anyone uninitiated. This is my son's copy of the toy, so it's a little worse for the wear. You know, got some paint scratches, but I didn't feel like decombining my Optimus Maximus, so there. But you can see a massive difference between these two. For one, the new Ironhide is significantly taller than this guy, which is kind of surprising because Siege toys are known for being a little on the short side for the most part. But they are sticking to scale, with Ironhide being one of the larger car Autobots in the original line. You know, he is a pretty good sized deluxe, even compared to deluxes from older lines. You know, obviously he's significantly more accurate than this guy. You know, this Ironhide just reuses Off-Road's body, just plops a new head on there, and really, honestly, even the head just looks off. Like the shape of the helmet and everything, his head's too small, it's too round. It doesn't look good. I don't think anyone really wants to have this Ironhide filling in as like their go-to for the character. The only other recent Ironhide we've received in a non-masterpiece form was the 2008 Universe one. I don't have that one, unfortunately, to compare this guy to, but I can say from having seen it up close and seeing pictures of it, this toy looks much better overall. Despite all the cost-cutting measures that are more prevalent in the newer toys in general, this guy I think still comes out looking better than the Universe one. Universe toy just looked kind of weird and tubby. All right, and that concludes our rather brief look at the new Siege Ironhide toy. This is a figure that I have such mixed feelings on because he does so many things right and so many things wrong at the same time. You know, he is an extremely accurate Ironhide. Like I've said, probably the best looking figure that we've received of him overall. He's got all of the posability that you would expect from a Siege Deluxe. He's got all the hinges and swivels and, you know, ball joints, ankle tilt, all that good stuff. Waist articulation. The only places the toy really suffers is, again, the extreme hollowness in the back that really could have been avoided. And then the very low quality leg panels, which I didn't mention earlier, but these are supposed to actually like peg in. They do have a little hole that this notch goes into, but on my copy at least, neither one stays pegged in. They just, you know, rest against it, which isn't all that noticeable if you're not looking for it. But the worst part is definitely the hinges. Hopefully, maybe there's some kind of running change. I don't know if he's getting released in a later wave or not. Can't remember. But, you know, I would like to see them do something to fix it. Just make those hinges just a little bit tighter on the outside so that they actually hold the panels and they're better. And he'll, you know, become a much better toy for it. You won't have to worry about popping off panels easily when you're transforming him or just really picking him up or doing anything with him. I do like his weapon. I think it's a perfect fit for him. Switching between, you know, a big bazooka-like rocket launcher or a giant warhammer, it's just so fitting for a rough and tough character like Ironhide. But yeah, that's really all I have to say on this toy. Despite all of his flaws, I am happy I have him. I'm happy I finally have like what I would consider a good Ironhide toy. But I really want to know what you think about it. Do you think the toy is, great in spite of his flaws? Do you think he's ruined by them? Love to hear your thoughts on them down below. If you like this look at Ironhide, make sure to toss the video a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my reviews like this one or any of my other Transformers related content, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below as well as the notification bell to make sure you always get a heads up when I post something new. Again, hope you all enjoyed this, and with all that said, I will see you next time.